I'm doing it.
You're doing it?
It's about that time. It's about that time, ladies and gentlemen. You know it. I know it. Everybody
Are
knows
we
it.
live?
We're now live on the internet to millions and millions of people. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen,
Welcome, everybody.
to the Weekly Narrative. I'm Jeremy, and this is Delaney, my co-host.
Hello. Welcome.
And
Nice
you know
to
the
see
drill.
everybody. You millions that have lined up just to see us.
They know the drill. They come here to navigate this dystopian world that we're living in now.
Yeah, we definitely are.
That's really
Especially in California.
yeah.
West Coast is definitely feeling it, for sure.
Everybody's feeling it right now.
Everybody.
I mean, you know, the lockdowns are affecting everybody.
For
The
sure.
rain's coming in. The weather's getting colder. Stuff's closing everywhere.
Don't know how many virgins we've had to sacrifice to get some damn rain, but I'm
see
kind of glad.
Dave in chat, just for kicks in chat.
Welcome.
What's up, guys?
What's up,
Welcome.
Dave?
Come on in.
Dave,
Grab a seat.
our biggest fan ever, Dave.
Grab
we
a
love
drink.
him. Grab a drink.
Sit back, relax.
Enjoy the show. Enjoy the ride. Because we're all in this together, folks.
You know what? I'm starting to think that this lockdown thing is all my fault.
Why do you say that?
Because all I want to do is go to the gym and get ripped, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to the gym for 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Consistently and doing a good job.
In between the lockdowns. And then what happens? They lock down the gyms in Sacramento County again.
You're just spreading that you're just a super spreader, Jeremy.
My gym is in Sacramento County. Well, I've gone to the gym like 4 to 5 days a week for the last month and a half or whatever. How long it was open? No COVID.
Oh, Jeremy, you can't do that.
I've got no COVID. So either it's not
It's not you, but you are just inspiring others to want to go to the gym, Jeremy. How
So-
dare you?
yeah, right. So they closed down my gym. And then what do? I look for the same gym in Placer County, which is the next county over.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to stop me. I'm still going to go to the gym.
Yeah.
Still going to get the pump on. And I go there one day. I come home the next day. Guess what I see on the news? Governor Newsom is going to Governor. That actually kind of
Governor,
works because his
or
name is Gavin.
I call him Comrade Newsom.
Comrade Newsom says that he's going to launch Placer County and like all the other counties in California from orange, which is like the mid tier,
But back to purple.
back to purple, skipping red,
Purple is bad.
straight to purple.
Right? We
Because
don't even have an option to go into red.
The gyms would still be open in red tier.
But we
But
can't.
he's like,
he wants to shut
"You
it
know
back
what?
down again.
I see Jeremy's trying to get a pump on.
Yeah, he's trying to
in
get
Placer
he's trying
County
to get
now,
jacked
so
for these girls.
let's just lock it all down.
He's trying to get jacked for all of his fans out there, and we can't allow that.
Well, you know the number one way to fight back against the tyranny is to get jacked. Remember?
Yeah, it's true. Gotta stand up and
Gavin Gruesome. What's up, MA? We see MA in chat.
Gavin
Welcome.
Gruesome.
Welcome. Glad to
I like
see
Gavin
you.
Gruesome. That's a good one. I say Comrade because he's basically sold us out to the Chinese
Gavin Gruesome
and
is good too.
to the Russians and everybody else. So
He's going to parties meanwhile. So
Yeah, he's
locking
going to
down,
parties, you
He's
know.
locking down everything for everyone else,
Yeah.
but then he's going to parties.
my
and
family's canceling our Thanksgiving, but he's allowed to go to like big fancy parties.
Everyone's canceling Thanksgiving and he's going to parties. Yep. That's how it works.
And then we're the super spreaders. They blame it on us. They blame it on us and our way of life.
I think if they break down the door right now, I wouldn't be surprised because we're super spreading right
Yeah,
now.
we're super spreading in between each other, or
Right.
maybe we're just like
No, just two people in the same
yeah, just
room.
just two people just super spreading
Super
with
spreader.
each other, and that way everybody that we touch gets it as well.
Come on in, everybody. Fill the seats
Fill
up.
the seats up. Start
Grab a drink.
clapping.
Grab a drink.
Get your beers.
get to it.
Get your wine.
As you can see from the title today, we're going to be talking about. What are we going to be talking about? I already forgot.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about
COVID
COVID stuff.
updates. Yeah.
A lot of interesting COVID developments happening.
I mean, yeah.
I feel like we're we're in the constriction phase. The boa is like
Yeah.
they've got us in this. It's got us in its teeth,
Yeah.
and it's just.
It's just ringing us real tight, and like we're pretty much dead.
And then we're gonna look at some members of the Biden administration. So if Biden does get in, which is still a question mark, who's gonna be on his team? Who has he told us that he's gonna have
Yeah.
on his administration and part of
Who
his
does
team?
he want?
And what do you have to look forward to?
Yeah, what we have to look forward to if on January 20th he gets sworn in.
Exactly.
If that happens, it's an if. They say it's going to happen, but I'm doubtful. I have doubt in my heart about it.
Well, there was just
I'm prepared if it does.
apparently Michigan is refusing to certify.
Oh, lovely, aren't they? Yeah.
So I mean that's a good thing
Yeah, that's
for
good.
the Trump people because Now, here's the thing with certification. When you certify your votes, for people who don't know, the election happens, you get a winner according to the AP. Okay, the AP declares.
The AP declares it all.
That doesn't really matter. It's the AP.
Yeah, it's
not,
AP.
It's not official. It's just the media's version of what's.
It's not the department run by the government. It's the Associated Press.
Each individual state has to go through and certify the election results for their state, and when they do that, they're certifying that they're. You're putting
this is what we're being honest and accurate, as close as we can get about
you're
this.
putting your stamp of approval on what you're turning in.
Okay, so they didn't put the stamp of approval on it, so there's something wrong.
Exactly, that's the whole
Yes,
point.
And Michigan was kind of a crucial one for him to possibly.
It was one of the big ones.
Yeah, it was one of the big, the states that supposedly went to Biden that I was like, are you sure this is right? Because, looking at it, it seems like Michigan would be one of them states that would go red this time around. But maybe, possibly.
That's what we were thinking,
I thought so. I've seen a lot of campaigning and, a lot of, Trump love in Wisconsin and Michigan and Minnesota.
He did a lot of rallies in Minnesota.
He did a lot of rallies up there, but...
Because he knew it was in play.
Yeah.
So, since... in the last week or maybe even just the past few days, they found a an SD card with thousands of votes on it.
Oh, of course.
In Pennsylvania, or no, it was Georgia. It was one of the two.
It was one of those states that's still
one
on
of
the
the
plate.
swing states. They found
one of the states on the plate.
They did a recount in some counties in Pennsylvania. They found a net gain in votes for Trump.
Well, yeah. Why would they not? Their jobs depend on having Trump or Biden.
Well, see, now that's what I'm saying. We're in the certification phase where now they have to actually go through and tell us that they're honest about what they're going to submit.
So it's good that Michigan is at least being somewhat honest and they're not certifying before it actually goes to the next phase of what's going to happen with this election.
So that's what the Trumpers need to have happen.
Yep, I agree.
If they just said we're certifying our results, here you go, that would be the worst thing for the Trump people to have happen.
Yeah.
We got Arian in chat. What's up, man? Happy belated Indian New Year.
Hell yeah.
You as well.
Yeah, Trump celebrated the Indian New Year. How was he that was so cool. His little ceremony that he did. You didn't see that?
No.
No, of course you didn't.
No.
You don't ever see that good, positive stuff that Trump does when he has people of different ethnicities, of different cultures, bringing in and trying to share something with him.
You know me, I only follow leftist media, so I don't see that stuff.
Yeah, you don't see that stuff, but I follow him directly, and I see him posting pictures with all this stuff, and I'm like, oh my god, that's awesome. It's so cool. Poor in India, they can't even celebrate this stuff right now because of lockdowns, or they're trying to shut it down. People celebrating, that's awful. No.
A lot of things are going to change now because of the lockdowns, and I think lockdown is an appropriate term because it's not really quarantine anymore.
Yeah, we're not quarantining. We're locking down.
It's a lockdown.
It's a total lockdown. We're trying to just make people scared and not have them just go out and have fun and try to forget about what's going on right now. Let's just make it worse and just make it just a travesty. Yeah, here we go. This is what's happening, y'all.
Let's get into it.
They're canceling the Thanksgiving Day parade because of COVID. They're gonna have no people watching it on the street.
How is this year gonna be different? And the big question, the bigger picture. Okay, so as
we're gonna have a parade but no audience. That's so pathetic.
As we get into these stories, just realize that it's not about the fact this is just gonna change. Potentially just for this year, right? It's not about the fact that this Thanksgiving we're not going to be able to be with our families. It's about the same situation with 9/11. It's about long-term change.
It's true.
And opening up the public to accepting
the
more
new
reality, more restrictions, new reality,
the new normal, as they like to call it.
The new normal. This is all about the Great Reset. Okay, right? The Great.
So Macy's
fantastic reset.
Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade will go on with no audience due to COVID-19. Okay.
Floats and performers will travel just one city block
down 34th Street, and the event will be television only. That is so sad.
Reporting from Fox News.
From Fox News. Thank you guys for doing the work for us. But we're going to just talk about this. This is so sad.
So we've joked previously in the past about how we are voluntarily separating ourselves into individual little cells.
Oh yeah.
Where, we're breaking ourselves down from the family into individuals to just basically living in a a box by yourself
Yep.
and generating revenue and taxes for the state.
Yep.
Now, it's been largely voluntary up until this point,
Yep.
but now we're seeing actual force from the government to where it's kind of like a weird dystopian movie where you see the Macy's Day Parade happening, but there's nobody on the streets cheering. There's no, there's just camera crews.
Yeah.
And everything's empty. It's very strange.
Yeah, it's so strange. That's why I'm just perplexed that, like, I would watch this on TV just because we live on the other side of the country and I couldn't see it in person, but I would have loved to have seen it in person one day because parades are fun. Like, that's the thing. These parades are cool. We can't even, like, all we can do is watch it on TV now,
Everyone knows we just want to watch it to see the floats, like,
Yeah.
get caught up in each other. And,
Yeah, like...
and
The
destroy
paraders not know what the hell they're doing because they've never been in a parade. I've been in parades. That's the thing. That's why I love parades, because watching people that have never
I'm
been
sure you've been in parades. Yeah,
I have. I used to
I believe you.
I used to do dance and stuff, and I used to when I lived in West Sac, and we would have like a neighborhood parade, and my dance studio was a part of it. So we would like do dance routines in the parade and stuff. Yeah, I was like in parades and stuff. Like, yeah.
The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade will still have a lineup of star-studded theatrical and musical performances, but there will be no crowds of onlookers this year due to the coronavirus pandemic.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
Can't socially distance.
I want to make sure that we're following the standard that's been set here, because the standard is that if you have a large group of people outdoors, that's fine.
Yeah.
All of a sudden now for the Macy's Day Parade, what if, okay, here's an idea.
Oh.
This is how we can get the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade to go through.
Okay.
You form a riot against floats.
Oh, there we go.
If you form a riot against floats, then you can go to protest the floats.
Right? Or, dude, did you watch this Straight Pride Parade? Was it like 2018?
No, why would I watch that?
No, so just the media, just the coverage from it, it was so hysterical. There were more people there to riot and protest the Straight Pride Parade than to like actually like take part and be like celebrating it. It was quite a sight. I was.
Look, I just want to make sure we're following the same standards.
Yeah, we got to follow the
events.
same standards.
Okay, in the new coronavirus.
Well,
world.
we're gonna not do the Thanksgiving Day Parade. Like, we're gonna protest it just so that way, just because it's Thanksgiving, and you know Thanksgiving is racist.
If we protest Thanksgiving, then we can meet.
Yeah, then we can meet and talk crap and, you know, just be upset, but otherwise we can't go to the
We're
Thanksgiving
protesting against unthankfulness.
Yeah, unthankfulness.
Ungratefulness.
Ungratefulness.
We're protesting. So they're, one block. They're literally going one block. That's
Arian asked Delaney, were you a cheerleader using your dance expertise? No, I didn't do cheer. I didn't go to a school that had a cheerleading squad or even a football team or any sports teams. My school did have dance, so I did do dance at my school. I went to like art school.
So how else is the world going to change in this new coronavirus reality?
Oh, no.
You guys remember concerts?
Oh, yeah, I love concerts.
You like going to concerts?
It's one of the things I've missed the most about, like, pre-COVID.
I'm glad I went to a few concerts right before this ended.
Oh,
Not
me
concerts,
too.
but
Well,
smaller ones anyway.
I was supposed to go to EDC this year again, but it got canceled like the month before. But luckily I got my money back. That sucked.
Ticketmaster. This is from Los Angeles.
LA.
CBS in Los Angeles here. Ticketmaster to verify COVID vaccination status of fans before issuing concert passes.
And if I say I don't want a vaccine, am I not allowed to go to concerts?
Don't get to go to the concert.
Is that true?
That's really it. So one of those fact-checking sites fact-checked this, and their fact-check was hilarious.
Yeah?
Because they were like...
They fact-checked these guys that are supposed to be, like, decent at their job?
The claim was that Ticketmaster is going to be checking your vaccination status. It's not entirely accurate. What they're actually doing is Ticketmaster is enabling event organizers to require vaccination status. So if I go to Ticketmaster and I say, I want to sell tickets to my Rammstein concert, which I was supposed to go to in December in LA.
Oh, man.
Yeah, no.
That would have been fun.
I can say, I want all the attendees to be required to have vaccinations.
So they're like giving concert promoters and stuff the option to have like...
They're making it an option.
Making it an option?
They're making it an option to be
That's so stupid,
required.
though.
It's not Ticketmaster requiring vaccination status. It's just Ticketmaster giving event organizers. And Ticketmaster, for you guys who don't go to concerts, is probably the #1 biggest event, like ticketing company on the planet.
They kind of rip people off, honestly.
Oh, of course. Ticket
Like
systems are always ripping
I've
people off.
gotten like tickets that aren't that expensive off Ticketmaster, and like the taxes and the fees ended up being more than the ticket itself. So.
Oh yeah, no, that's how they get you.
Yeah.
An experimental vaccine for COVID-19 continues to make progress. The concert industry is preparing for a potential return to live events in the coming months. Ticketmaster is working on a plan to use smartphones to verify whether customers have been vaccinated or tested for coronavirus,
No.
according to Billboard. While the plan is still in its early phases, Billboard reports the process would involve fans using the Ticketmaster app in partnership with medical information firms
Oh, okay.
and vaccine and testing distributors.
And if I just say no, thank you, am I allowed to go to concerts? That's like my number one question.
No, not if the event organizer wants.
But if I go to an event that they don't care, then I'm fine. But if they are a total stick up their butt, I can't go.
Yeah. After being tested, customers would authorize the lab to share their results with a health pass company such as IBM or Clear, according to the report. If one of the requirements was met, the health pass company would verify that information with Ticketmaster, which would then release the tickets to the customer. Does anything in that paragraph strike your interest or get your attention at all? Does anything jump out at you?
Just the fact that they're wanting these companies to share your personal health information is kind of a little scary.
Well, that was going to be one of the things I wanted to mention, that now Ticketmaster is probably in the game of, HIPAA.
Yeah, it's like this is kind of HIPAA violation.
Health. Yeah, it's not a violation if they, if you authorize the release. But the point is, Ticketmaster now deals with health data. But the thing that I wanted to point out was the phrase "health pass company."
What is that? What is a health pass company?
Oh, I'm glad you asked.
Well, like I saw that too, and I was gonna bring that up. I was like, health pass company. That's the number one thing that came up, and I was like, what is that? What does that mean? So, are there gonna be like companies and apps that have your personal medical information about like whether or not you've been tested or have coronavirus vaccines and shit?
The picture of the dystopian future reality is coming together for you now.
Kind of little. I mean, I've already believed it. That's why I'm not taking the vaccine. Sorry, y'all. Like, I'm good. I'm good without that.
So
no for me, dog.
This leads into the bigger picture. When we give you these articles as a lead-in, as a warm-up to priming you to accept and understand that, like I said at the beginning, this is about long-term changes.
Yeah.
Same way that you go to the airport right now, the TSA is still there groping you when you try to get through the airport.
I got felt up by TSA once.
I get felt. I've been flying quite a bit lately, and I get felt up all the time.
Oh, yeah? By men or women?
Either. It doesn't matter.
It just happens.
Every time. It's gross every time.
I agree.
And actually, no, it's curious. Only certain airports do that. Not all airports do that.
Well, I used to work at the airport here in Sac, and I had to go through the security, and sometimes when I would get like flagged or whatever, 'cause even though I didn't carry anything on me, if I had to get pat down, they would like, do you want a female officer? And I was like, no, I don't want to wait for one. Can I just get pat down by a man? I don't care personally. Can I just get out of here? I work here. I got like the random searches sometimes.
20 years later. After 9/11.
Yeah,
so
right?
Now,
and I'm still getting that. And I work there.
This is the introduction of something new that's going to be in our lives for the rest of your life. It's going to be called the Health Pass.
The Health Pass.
So when you want to travel to other countries,
you got to have the Health Pass.
When you want to potentially cross state lines,
Health Pass.
When you want to apply for a job,
Multi-pass.
Multi-pass. Multi-pass.
Multi-pass.
That's really what it is.
A little bit.
You are going to have to prove your vaccination status. Ticketmaster is just one of the companies that's jumping on it right away for obvious reasons. They've had their events locked down for a long time.
It kind of reminds me of like a social credit score system that certain countries that are adopting that.
Funny.
Like if you don't make a certain amount of money, you're not allowed to travel. You're not allowed to go anywhere. You're not allowed to procreate.
That's exactly what I wanted you to say.
Right?
Because that's exactly what I wanted to talk about.
Right?
The social credit system. Ladies and gentlemen, what you were looking at right here with this article that we just walked over.
It's a social credit system.
You're
not allowed to go to a concert that has this rule.
COVID is the
social credit score.
Impetus for enacting the social credit system in America. This is a system that already exists in China.
Yep, this has existed in China for a while.
This is now, they have a reason which they've needed, because you can't just introduce it out of the blue.
Yeah, right? It takes a pandemic to
it takes a 9/11 level event or a pandemic to introduce something like this, because now we're in a state where people are primed. They want more protection. So if you package this as we're doing it for your safety, we're doing it to protect you.
This is to protect everybody.
It's not going to be a situation where they're like, whoa, wait a minute, you're going to take my freedoms away? They're going to be like, no. Wait, you're going to help protect me? Yes, please.
Yeah, please take my freedoms.
Please, health pass. I want a health pass right now.
I want a health pass. I need a pass. I need a health pass. I need it. Yes. I need it. I need it in order to live my life. That's really what's happening. I need it. They're going to take the vaccine or whatever in order to be able to go wherever they want to go.
We got Dragon Energy in the chat. Life Roll Toll. What's up, guys? Welcome. Glad to see you back. Glad to see you.
Love Dragon Energy. Life Roll Toll's cool too.
Taurus 12 is
Taurus
dead.
12.
Dead serious.
Super. I think that's a new person. Welcome.
He's been waiting. Yep. Glad to see you, Taurus. I know you were asking about when we were going to stream. I'm glad you're here, buddy.
Yeah, we're glad you joined us. Welcome to the stream. Fill the stands. Get the claps going.
My parents asked me what I was drinking on the stream.
Okay.
Or they said I shouldn't drink on stream. They said I shouldn't drink vodka.
Oh, so you changed it up today.
I took their advice, and now I'm drinking gin.
Yeah, he's drinking gin, so not much different, but it's okay.
You guys grab a drink. Stalking Horse just entered the chat.
Welcome, Stalking Horse.
What's up, buddy?
This is awesome.
The crew is here.
The crew is here.
Everybody's here.
Everybody's here. Welcome. We're talking about
Talking about the multipass.
Talking about the multipass. The multipass.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Multipass.
Ticketmaster is going to have this pass. And like I said, it's going to be implemented in various ways.
It's going to be like on your phone and stuff like that. You're going to be like, verify that you got a COVID test.
The infrastructure is already in place to have, because we all have our cell phones.
Yeah.
Where's your cell phone?
My phone's right here.
See, it's within arm's reach already.
Yeah.
It may as well already be integrated into
have it in my phone so I can make phone calls like this.
It's basically already integrated into your body.
Pretty much is, yeah.
And the infrastructure is already in place to enact these controls. And
you're not wrong, Jeremy. You're not wrong.
So what do you know?
Being the techno guy that you are, I believe you when you say that.
Well, being the cybersecurity expert, I can tell you right now that there's going to be a lot of fraudulent vaccination. Let's call them tokens,
right?
Or wristbands, or whatever you want to call them.
Like you have like a little thing on your shirt always, a little button.
There's going to be a black market for fake vaccinations, fake,
well, didn't Elon Musk do like four COVID tests and like 2 of them came back positive and 2 of them came back negative?
That's what happens when you make a test in warp speed, but.
Yeah, well, and also too, like, I just don't get how that happens, really. I just don't get it.
Because it was made in warp speed.
Yeah?
You don't make the best products and while you're in warp speed.
Well, was it all the same test, though? Or was it like 4 different... Wow. I feel like they were just...
That's what happens when you make stuff in warp speed.
It's terrible.
So, what do you know?
So terrible.
What do you know about China's social credit system?
I know that if you don't say the right things and know the right people and have a certain amount of money, you're not allowed to travel, you're not allowed to get like a good job, like move up and get yourself out of poverty. You're not allowed, sometimes depending on how high your credit is, you're not even allowed to have kids. Like they'll come out and like take your kids from you if they don't want you to have kids. And you're going to be the first one to line up or they're going to be the first one on the train to the concentration camp sometimes if you speak out too much, if they notice you too much. So it's very Black Mirror-ish. That was like one episode of Black Mirror that I watched, and I was like, I see that already happening here in the United States with like social media and likes and dislikes and emojis and all that stuff. And I'm like, this is kind of scary, the road we're going down right now.
Well, the people who don't use social media like Facebook or Twitter, they don't understand that we're already creating kind of a centralized digital identification system. Because Facebook can be used as an authentication system into a lot of different applications and systems, right? Because when you sign up for something new, what are your options? Anytime you log in or you want to create an account somewhere, what do you see? Signing with Google or signing with Facebook.
Yep.
And then in small, tiny text, way beneath everything else, it says create an account.
Yeah, right?
Because they want you to use
these platforms to take your data, take your stuff.
They want you to use your social media as your identification. So like I was saying, the infrastructure is already in place.
Yeah, it's already there. And China, they are so smart in the way, like, we've been talking about China a lot on the streams lately, but you and I both agree that China are very, 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 it's very, very smart what they're doing. Very, very strategic in what they're doing and how they're doing it.
Well, I would say they're definitely, their strategy is leading to success.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, think about, for example, the COVID vaccinations. Do you think China was really working hard to get a vaccination?
Oh, no. They opened their country back up like after 2 months.
Well,
they don't even really close their country down,
aside
honestly.
from that, all they have to do is wait for the American capitalist system to generate one, and then they just steal it.
And then they just steal it and then mass produce it for us.
They don't have to do any work.
Yeah, all they do is just produce it for us with slave labor that they've, got in their back pocket.
They steal it and then they make it with slave labor.
Yep.
Demolition Man was pretty prophetic. Grim, yes, you're right.
When Sandra Bullock was super hot. She was super hot for that movie.
Demolition Man is one of the best dystopian comedies of all time.
That was a good movie.
So good. Oh my god.
Old Sandra Bullock before she just got weird.
So in the movie, for those who aren't aware, in Demolition Man, it's in the future. If you say a swear word, if you say something bad, you basically get a ding on your social credit system. So it's literally if you're in a Taco Bell, for example,
you have to are forced to be nice, even if you don't want to be nice.
If you're in a Taco Bell and you say a swear word, a ticket will print out showing you. But we don't have to have a ticket system because they can send it right to your phone.
Yeah.
Because when I walk into the Taco Bell, my Facebook is on my phone and I connect to the Taco Bell network. They automatically know who I am.
Yep.
The Bluetooth is linked to my phone. The Bluetooth is automatically...
with your Google account has all your credit card information,
everything you need is linked right through this. So when I carry this around, I'm literally telling anyone who has the proper tools exactly who I am, everything that I have, whatever.
Yep, that's why I stopped using Facebook a long time ago. Even though Instagram's owned by Facebook, I don't have a Facebook because I just couldn't do it anymore.
It's not worth it. People don't understand that's... Once I realized that everything was asking me to authenticate with Facebook, I knew what was going on.
I knew what was going on too. After a while, it was like I can just hit the Facebook button and they just have all my stuff.
I was just a little bit ahead of the curve because cybersecurity is my professional.
Yeah, so you were like, I know what they're up to.
I knew what they were doing, and I knew how dangerous that is.
Yeah.
But I think people are starting to catch on now.
I think I got a Facebook in 2010 when I was about to graduate. No, 2009. I was a year away from graduating high school, and I got my Facebook, and I thought it was so cool. And then it started off as something just fun and innocent, and I get to talk with my friends on Facebook, and send them funny stuff. And then it just grew to be this way, way, way bigger thing.
Yeah.
And I noticed it too, and I think it was 2017. I noticed it was becoming more and more of a thing, and then it just was more and more negative and just hate fueled. So I just was like, I can't do it anymore. And then I started to realize I was right. I was like, they are stealing my data.
I'm gonna take this opportunity to use my new button.
Oh yeah, let's see it.
We programmed a new button. So when I talk to people and I tell them not to use Facebook and how dangerous it is, this is what they say. You guys ready for this? This is gonna be good.
Ready?
Pay attention. But Jeremy, we use it to talk to our friends. That's the only way we can talk to our friends.
That's the only way we can talk to each other. Yeah, that was me, and
that's my new button. I hope you guys like that.
When I was in high school, except I didn't have red hair.
No, I talk to people all the time, and I say, well, okay, so you're sacrificing your privacy, your security, because what they really want to say is because they like the attention that Facebook gives them.
Yeah.
And they like to compare themselves with other people's lives. But what they tell you is that they want to communicate with people. It's like, man, there's other ways to do that. But
yeah, well, see, when I was in high school and all I had was, I could text my friends, but texting is different whereas opposed to sharing memes on Facebook and that kind of stuff. And then on top of it, it's I can message them too. So
as we're talking about this, I'm realizing that this is really going to tie in with the second half of our show today, because the second half of our show, the content is all focused around Biden's administration, potential administration, and how he's packing it with big tech executives.
Yeah, that's really smart of you, Biden. Now we know where all that money was coming from.
It's just further back up to what we're saying, though, and that this system, the multi-pass system that people are talking about in chat, they accurately identify The Fifth Element and Demolition Man as some of the best, dystopian movies. That's coming.
Oh, I know it is.
And now
Blade Runner, all that stuff is coming.
We've had 4 years of relative I would say relative, because it was not net productive in terms of social media control over us. Trump really didn't do anything for social media control. He didn't do anything to try and reform Section 230.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything to try and reclassify these social media companies. He let them kind of do whatever they wanted. Ted Cruz went hard on him on the hearings.
I was going to say, I mean, what it really ultimately, like, what I saw happening was, like, just individual companies that were being censored by tech giants going after the tech giants. It wasn't like the federal government was stepping in to help them in any way, shape, or form. So I agree with you that Trump could have done better on that. But, I mean, he's got so much on his plate, man. What can he do, really?
Dragon Energy says Trump will win. This is hypothetical, okay? If Biden gets in, this is what's going to happen. That's what we'll be talking about.
Yeah. Just Biden is just, he's going to apparently just appoint all these people to positions of power that have been censoring conservatives. And even leftists have been getting censored by these guys too. That's what's surprising. It's like they want all these people in power.
They're starting to, but...
They're starting to censor
what
leftists.
People who don't use Twitter aren't going to really understand is that Twitter now has little notifications at the bottom of tweets. Or anything relating to the election, anything relating to mostly the election.
Anything
sometimes,
really nowadays.
Sometimes COVID. They'll have an
a little fact checker on it right there for you.
Editorial note on the tweet that says the election has been disputed by election officials or something like that. They're editorializing comments that other people are making about these
commentary.
topics. It's only on Republicans.
They're fact checking free speech.
I have an 80-20 ratio of leftists to conservatives on Twitter that I follow, and I don't see any of these notifications on leftists at
really
all. And I'm at an 80-20 ratio.
Yeah, okay? You are. You're at I'm the same ratio as you, but conservative majority.
It's not on any leftists.
Yeah.
Leftists who talk about it, they don't get that flag.
Yeah, they don't. Why would they? But when conservatives talk about it, they get flagged or they get banned.
Sometimes it's not even just a flag on the tweet. It's actually the tweet is hidden, and then you have to accept a disclaimer
that it might not be true.
And they did that to Donald Trump. They did that to the president
on election night
during the election.
Yeah.
During the election, they censored the president of the United States.
Yeah, they were like, this isn't true.
So you tell me that they're not ready to give you the multipass when they're censoring the president of the United States. And I guarantee you, how long do you think Trump's going to last on Twitter after he gets out of office, whether it's in January or whether it's in 4 years? You think he's going to get banned immediately or the day after? That's the question.
I mean, I don't know. If they ban him, then people won't be on Twitter as much. That's the thing.
Well, he's going to bring a crowd with him wherever he goes.
Yeah, if he's just going to go to Parler or he's going to go to all these other social media platforms, and they're just going to boom because of him.
That's not going to be a good argument for them to keep him, though. Twitter's not going to care that he has a lot of followers. They've already said, or I think somebody who represents Twitter has already said that as soon as he's not the president anymore, he's going to lose the protections that he has that comes with that office.
That's so stupid.
So not only are they admitting that he has some higher status than a normal Twitter user because he's the president.
Yeah, he's a public figure.
But they're still censoring him.
Yeah.
And they're also admitting that they're going to take those away as soon as he's not president.
They just are ready. They have the trigger ready. They have it locked and loaded on him. They just
Trump has a multi-pass.
Yeah, he does have a multi-pass. He's the president. Oh, M.A., thank you. M.A.'s complimenting my haircut. Thank you. Thank you. I was looking like a hag there for a while. So
let's jump into the chat and see what some of the comments are. We've been
getting blown up here
for a while. Let's see. Okay, Idiocracy was cool, but we are in Fifth Element. Multipass.
Multipass.
Yes, exactly.
We need to get a Photoshop of Lily with a multipass. Add that in there.
Grim says if the only friends you speak to are on Facebook, they aren't friends.
It's true. I agree.
That would be my argument as well.
I 100% agree.
Addicted to Drums says all talk, I think in reference to what Biden and his administration will do, hopefully. But
Hopefully, you never know with these crazy, crazy radicals that are running rampant in our government.
Iron Duke says the Supreme Court will be the last line of defense along with the Senate.
Agreed, and luckily we got the majority. The Republicans do at least.
Starting to look like it's going to go towards that direction. We're now seeing states like Michigan who are refusing to certify the results, which we touched on briefly at the beginning of the stream. That's kind of...
it's a good thing.
That's the cascade of events
if we want Trump to win.
If you would want to see happen if you want this to go to the
If
Supreme
you want
Court.
Trump to win, then you're like kind of happy that Michigan hasn't certified. But if you don't want Trump to win, you're a Biden supporter. You're like, no, Michigan, we needed you. That was one of the states that I was really surprised that Trump didn't win, or he wasn't certified to win, because I just the vote. Me and you talked about it many streams ago. We've been talking about it for probably every stream. Is that the voter enthusiasm for Trump just seems greater. Mm-hmm. And I'm just so surprised it's taking this long. But then again, I'm not.
Well, here the theory that I like that I'm going to go with right now is, again, I'm going to steal it from Scott Adams. I steal a lot of my material from him.
He's pretty logical.
But I think the goal of what he wants to do anyway is to send out a message and have people amplify it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to amplify that. I'm going to acknowledge that I'm stealing it from him. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to be so crass that I'm going to say, oh, I thought of this myself.
This isn't my original idea.
And now I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh no. It's okay. Let's go to the chat.
What were you talking about before?
How the voter enthusiasm is there for Trump.
Oh, right. No. So the cheating that happened at a systemic level so great that
they're proving the leftists that say that there is systemic racism, they're proving it by enacting it and doing
that they overdid it. So the problem is that it's not like there was coordination between every state and everyone was
there
like,
wasn't.
all right, guys, we're going to do this.
There's a lot of independent people.
We're going to do this, and then you do this. No, every state and every locality had their people who were going to do what they knew how to do.
Yep.
And collectively speaking, when you look at it from the big picture, from a nationwide perspective, they overdid it.
Yeah, they did.
Because Biden got way too many votes.
Yeah, he got...
way too many votes.
Way too many votes.
So they overdid it on a collective basis because they weren't coordinated. Mm-hmm. That's the theory that I'm going to go with.
They did too much cheating, like, too frequently for it to favor Biden. Like, when Hillary did it, and Hillary cheated, and she lost in 2016, that was the best part about why Trump won, is because they cheated, they didn't get caught cheating, and they still lost. Whereas, like, with Biden, he's kind of getting caught cheating. Not him personally, but people in favor of him are cheating for him.
Well, I mean,
and it's happening at a way more abundant rate, and they think that they could have... they thought that they could steal this. They thought they could steal this election. They really did.
They're fighting
and get away with it.
They're fighting against literal Hitler. So
yeah, they're fighting against Hitler.
If all I had to do to beat Hitler was run a couple ballots through the machine a couple times more, like run that stack of Biden votes.
Or like if you see a Trump vote, just rip the corner when no one's looking, and then say that it's tainted and not run it.
And then I could tell my grandkids that I defeated Hitler.
Yeah. Then you say that you stood up for Hitler by lying and cheating and stealing to win. Like, that's not fair.
MA says it's so blatant how they censor, yet leftists still deny it.
Of course they are. True, yeah. No, they don't. Leftists are the worst. I hate them.
Wow.
I really do. Like, I don't use hate that much, but I really don't like leftists.
Taurus says the patent number on payment system inoperated in the hand or forehead created by Microsoft is 666. Look it up on Google.
I'll look it up on Google.
Somebody look it up. Taurus. Somebody do a fact check on that for us.
Taurus, we need to fact check you. Just like Google and Facebook and all of these tech giants.
Addicted has a great point here. He says Senate hearings are always just a platform for political hacks to show off. They never accomplish anything.
Of course. That's what the Senate...
100%.
I agree with you 100% about the Senate. Senate is... Yeah,
those hearings are necessary. The hearings are hilarious, especially when they're related to technology, because they just had Jack Dorsey again on, who was the head of Twitter.
Have you seen this dude with his beard, and he just looks just terrible?
Well, yeah, because I mean that's what happens when you get into the sphere of
what, like, he just looks like he just
things. Okay,
he probably
once
has.
you get to that level, you've seen some things. But what I'm trying to say is when
these looks so bad, I feel bad for him.
Senators and congressmen interviewing tech CEOs on technology issues, they have no idea what they're talking about.
No, of course they don't. They're just the CEO. It's not like they're the ones actually...
No. I'm talking about the senators. They know nothing about technology. But you're right. Also, Jack doesn't have no idea what's going on in the day-to-day operations. I bet you he doesn't really know what's going on in
the day-to-day operations with Twitter and like how
of course not.
Twitter's like doing stuff.
No,
he's just there to give like the sign, seal, and approval on whatever they come up with.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why they have a huge headquarters in, what is it, SF, San Francisco, Silicon Valley, somewhere out there. I don't
It
know.
was in San Francisco. Yep.
What did they move out because it was like all the hobos were like propagating
Well,
on their street?
they went remote.
Oh, they did?
And this is actually, this is my argument for why COVID is a good thing for tech censorship.
Oh.
You want to hear it?
People in their like privacy of their own home so they can censor whoever the hell they want?
No.
No?
No, I'm saying it's a good thing for tech censorship.
Okay.
Overall.
Okay.
Because when you have an office that everyone has to go into in San Francisco, all the moderators, the tech people, are the analysts, the back end guys, the people who are developing the algorithms, the people who are responding to reports, they all have to live in the Bay Area.
Yeah. You have to see that garbage.
If you're 100% remote,
you don't have to see it anymore.
Your pool of employees is no longer limited to people in the Bay Area.
You can get people from all around the
world.
world.
You can hire somebody from Arkansas. You can hire somebody from Texas.
You can hire somebody from Massachusetts.
That's what I'm saying. So I think in that respect,
it might be good to get different people from different places to do.
Well, that's what it does. It diversifies.
A little bit more than having all these nerds in an office together.
On the bright side, that's my COVID bright side for tech censorship.
That's that little bit of bright bit in your heart. No, it does make sense.
Because you have to hire from San Francisco.
And look, you're wearing a white shirt and everything, Jeremy.
Yeah, I'm harbinger of good news today.
Yeah, so y'all, if you don't know him, if he's wearing dark colors, he's just very somber. Don't try to make him happy. But if he's wearing a white shirt, he's happy. He'll bring a little bright news. But even though he's black pilled totally and just hates everything usually, but when he's wearing a white shirt, you hate everything.
I just understand the nature of my reality. That's all.
That's true. You just hate everything.
Steve, instead with the $5 super chat.
Steve with the $5
says, every time, man, Steve gets me every time. Devastated by the loss of
Moses, Harry Horowitz, Jerome. I can't see.
Jerome Horowitz and Louis Feinberg.
Oh. Didn't he super chat us the last stream and said R.I.P. to Gary Coleman, and we were like, wait.
I don't even want to Google who that is.
I don't want to Google who it is either. Waste time doing that.
Thanks, Steve, for
we appreciate
your support, buddy.
you, Steve, for the $5 super chat and the laugh. That was great.
Gets me every time.
Gets us every time. It works 60% of the time, every time.
So. Now that we know the plan, we know that we're going to do health passes.
Yeah, we're going to do multi-pass for the COVID.
We know it's coming, okay? We all understand that's going on.
Yeah,
let's get into...
most people who aren't brainwashed understand that this whole COVID thing was a total psyop of some kind. Like, it's a...
Never let a good... disaster go to waste.
Yeah, it's a test to see who's going to comply with the face masks and all the regulations, and just kind of force a sort of Mad Max scenario of some kind where we're all just shooting each other in the streets, and it's like everybody for everybody. There's no government to regulate anything. Like nobody gives a shit.
You want to get banned off YouTube?
Let's do it.
So what's the news media?
I want to get banned.
News media and big tech, they're aside from making maybe it's just a coincidence that their profit, the way they make profit is by distracting and occupying you as much as possible. Mm-hmm. But while that's happening, while you're watching CNN for 12 hours of media arguing with
libtards, 16-year-old libtards about abortion.
Or conservatards.
Yeah, conservatards and, that hate gays.
While you're doing that, there's people out there who are looking at the bigger picture. Mm-hmm. And they're more interested in how things are going in the general directions,
those are the
civilization-wise. Mm-hmm. Right? The guys who are waiting for the opportunity to enact the health pass.
Yeah.
And the multi-pass. Mm-hmm. And things like that. Mm-hmm. And we're going to now look at how they've been sitting on the sidelines for 4 years because the Trump administration has kind of been a disruption to their whole ability to influence things because they haven't had a hand in the American government system for a while.
Yeah.
At least not as strong of a foothold, right?
Not as strong, but they've slowly seeped their ways in through lobbyists and through other means.
Now that Trump is going to be leaving either in January or in 4 years, we're going to be looking at who they really want to bring in and who they really want to have.
If Biden wins.
if the leftists win, office. Again, we all knew, everyone in chat especially, because you guys are all
Y'all are smart.
geniuses.
The people in our chat are the smartest and most beautiful people.
Biden was just the guy.
He's the front man. He's
the face.
He's the establishment.
To get the people in who were going to take the real actions.
Everybody that I know that voted for Joe Biden, they said that they voted for him because he's a decent man, and I just smiled and walk away.
Ironically speaking, as I'm talking about how we're all distracted by social media and any conversation around whether Biden was a legit candidate or what his policies were or anything like that, we were also participating in that little game of distraction.
Yeah, it's true.
Because if you want to take the real red pill in the whole thing, Biden is just an empty shell.
Yeah, he is.
To implement particular strategies that the big picture people who I'm talking about want to implement.
They want those ones, yeah.
They want to implement. So here we come to, after we just got done talking about how social media is censoring, controlling the narratives, everything, we're going to look at who Biden's going to get on his transition team and in his administration. Let's take a look at who he wants to put in power in the United States government, the most powerful government in the world.
Who does he want in his executive team to be in his corner?
Reporting from Reuters.com, more tech executives than tech critics on Biden's transition team. And as we were all aware, we knew that big tech censorship and whatnot was actually a pretty big topic leading into this election.
Oh, yeah.
And now we see that Biden probably doesn't really care that much at all about the people's concerns around big tech, whether that's because they're on the left and that's who it's favoring, or he just doesn't care at all.
Well, I mean, Twitter banned or suspended the press secretary for Trump like a few days before the election.
They banned a lot of people.
They banned a lot of people just because she shared. Yeah, just because she shared the New York Post, right?
Yep.
She shared that New York Post article. They even banned the New York Post for sharing that article about Hunter Biden. What the hell is that? That doesn't show any kind of favoritism.
Far more executives from technology companies than outspoken tech critics were named to U.S. President-elect Joe Biden's transition team on Tuesday, offering clues on who will decide on filling key roles and ultimately influence his administration's thinking in coming years.
These guys are crazy.
Tech companies have been trying to strengthen their relationship with a future Biden administration to ensure they have a voice in an onslaught of federal and state investigations of their business practices. So they're kind of just admitting that
we're trying to get in bed with the government so that way they can turn a blind eye to some of our shadier dealings.
Exactly. I couldn't have said it better myself.
That's basically what they're saying. Like we've been always wanted to get in with the government, and now we have a president that wants to talk to us.
So,
even though Trump is probably, if Jack Dorsey wanted to have a meeting with President Trump, he probably could.
Whether it's through lobbying or through a direct position in the administration, as we see here, they're going to get it.
Well, now they're like, oh, cool. Like, Biden wants to talk to us. I'm pretty sure Trump would want to talk to them, too. It's just you don't want to talk to him. That's the big problem right there.
Well, I don't know. Trump doesn't want to talk to them that much either. He doesn't really care. He doesn't seem to care about censorship and whatnot in big tech.
Maybe. Yeah, a little bit. He didn't take much of a strong stance on that.
That would be my biggest criticism against Trump.
Okay, we can criticize Trumpy. That's fine.
He didn't care about censorship.
I love me my Trumpy, but we can criticize him.
Which is fine because he was focused on other stuff.
He was focused.
Foreign policy.
He's got so much on his plate.
We're not going to get into it now.
And he's got the media against him, too.
The Biden transition team released a list of agency review teams on Tuesday. Amazon.com.
Oh, of course. Jeff Bezos is getting in there.
Amazon.com Inc.'s Tom Sullivan, an executive on the public policy team, will be part of Biden's review team overseeing the Department of State. Similarly, Mark Schwartz from Amazon's cloud computing arm, who's also a former Obama administration official, will be weighing in on decisions for the Office of Management and Budget.
Do these people not know that a lot of people who worked for Obama were caught spying illegally on Trump? Shh. Are we going to get banned for that?
Shh. Microsoft-owned MSFT, that's a stock signal. LinkedIn Senior Director for North America Policy, Nicole Isaac, is part of the team overseeing the Department of Treasury. LinkedIn is going to be overseeing the Department of Treasury.
Okay.
Nicole Wong, former Deputy Chief Technology Officer under the administration of Democratic President Barack Obama and Vice President, and a Vice President and Deputy General Counsel for Alphabet-owned Google, found a spot in the review team for the National Security Council.
What? Okay.
Google's going to be doing our national security?
That doesn't sound very good to me.
That's a bit hyperbolic. They're not going to be doing our national security, but they're going to have.
People.
They could potentially have a spot in the review team.
I don't want people from Google running that. I'm
Yes, you
sorry.
do.
No, I don't. No, thank you. No, I'm good.
By contrast,
Why
tech
do we even
critics
have that? I'm just kidding.
tech critics such as Gene Kimmelman, senior advisor with Washington-based Public Knowledge, which
Okay.
focuses on areas such as antitrust policy, will be on the review team for the Department of Justice, and Sarah Miller from the American Economic Liberties Project was chosen for the group weighing in on decisions about the Department of Treasury.
Why?
Both Kimmelman and Miller have pushed for higher antitrust scrutiny of big tech's business practices. So there's a little glint of hope in there.
Okay.
We don't want to be too 100%
We don't want to be
doom and gloom.
too critical of the leftists. Don't want to be too critical of them and maybe hurt their feelings and force them to go to their safe spaces and color while we just try to give them constructive
In
criticism.
bean pictures. Executives from relatively smaller tech companies such as Airbnb, Uber, and Lyft, and Stripe were also appointed into these agency review groups.
Cool. Well,
Amazon and basically everybody else declined to comment.
Okay.
So, yeah, a Biden transition team spokesman said agency review teams are responsible for evaluating the operation of the federal agencies and making sure the Biden-Harris administration can achieve policy goals discussed during the campaign.
just sounds like a bunch of baloney.
What about the FTC,
FTC.
Federal Trade Commission? Who's going to be reviewing that?
Oh, well, let's see.
There will be a team reviewing the Federal Trade Commission, which includes Bill Baer,
Okay.
former director of the FTC's Bureau of Competition and ex-head of the Justice Department's Antitrust Division, who has recently called for tougher antitrust laws. So, I don't know, what direction they're trying to go with this.
Yeah, I don't know where they're going with this either, but you
Google,
know,
Amazon, Microsoft,
Li-
Uber,
they,
Lyft.
they invited Uber and Lyft, so yay for them.
Google. I mean, these are all the exact people we've been pointing the finger at this whole time, saying, "Hey,
In the chat, Grim, I don't know how to say that. All regular Wayfair cabinet customers. That's a conspiracy. That's a conspiracy. We don't want
Oh,
to talk about
man.
that. We don't want to talk about the
That is
Wayfair
a-
conspiracy.
that's a deep
That's a deep rabbit hole that we don't want
reference."
to dive
Well, it's just a
into.
reference that nobody's going to understand.
I mean, I know
Wayfair
what
cabinet customers.
I know what he's talking about, but that's
So do I.
just
It means pedophilia,
yeah, it means you were
pedophiles. He's
you-
calling them pedophiles.
Yeah, totally. Well, we're not. I was trying to be censor. I was trying to censor myself, but you know.
I'm bringing it out in the open. That's why I'm here, baby.
Yeah.
Gotta open it up.
There's certain things that it's okay that you talk about, and then there's certain things that it's okay that I talk about, but you don't. You know the gay stuff. I'll talk about that, but you can't talk about that. No way. No way. No how. All right, let's go to the chat, you guys. You guys are awesome.
Taurus is following up. We asked him to supply some references to what he was commenting on the 666 patent thing, but he says,
Okay.
here's what he says. He says John McAfee tweeted that Microsoft owns international patent 060606, a cryptocurrency system using humans who have been chipped as the miners.
They spelled minor. They spelled it MINERS and not minors.
Well, yeah, because miners, when you mine cryptocurrency.
Yeah, you mine. Yeah, I get it, but they mean
Interesting,
minors. They mean
interesting.
minors.
Total
like
coincidence, I'm sure.
children's.
Absolute
Yeah.
coincidence.
Just a little spelling error on their part. What they want, what their big picture is.
No. It's a coincidence that it's 666.
Yeah, I mean, but it's not 666. It's just 060606. So that's different. If it was 666, I would be like, oh no, oh heck no. Because
Iron
there's the zeros, it throws it off completely.
Yeah, totally. And no relation at all.
I mean, that's just me. That's just my pea brain, girl brain. Sorry.
Iron Duke says, I feel that the prevailing narrative of Orange Man bad and literal times 1,000 Hitler, I like it, it's starting to catch on, are the closest thing we have ever seen in this era to a Salem witch hunt style mass hysteria.
You're not wrong, Iron Duke. You're not wrong.
I'm trying to think of any other mass hysterias that have been so profoundly spread throughout society. I can't think of any off the top of my head.
Not off the top of my head in like modern society.
Orange Man bad. I mean, there's so many subcategories of Orange Man bad, like the My Russia,
They just come up with whatever.
or Ma Russia. Sorry, Ma
They,
Russia.
they come up with that whatever drivel they come up with, and it just usually ends up being drivel and not funny. So
Ezekiel Emanuel, architect of ACA, brother of Rahm Emanuel, Obama's chief of staff, has been tapped by Biden. Yep, thank you, M.
well,
Frankenstein.
yeah, probably anything having to do with Obama. People automatically think that you can't do no wrong with that. But I'm sorry, Obama was not as good of a president as everybody makes him out to be.
Iron Duke brings up a good point. Potentially, he says going after big tech was probably Trump's second term mission.
Yeah, I mean, I think so too. Maybe if we give him a second term, then we can make it happen, y'all. I thought he was trying to, or he signed in some executive orders about big tech censorship. Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought
Trump?
Yeah, Trump.
Yeah, he did sign something, but
he signed some executive orders about big tech censorship, but who knows how effective that's going to be, really. There's only so much power the president has.
Addicted to Drums wonders how all these people feel about globalism.
They probably love it and think it's a great thing.
I could take a guess.
They think it's a great thing. They don't understand that globalism just isn't. We're not there yet.
Biden team, they got a multi-pass.
Yes, Biden team, they got a multi-pass. We are Wayfair-pilled. Don't worry.
Wayfair-pilled. Anyone else feel like it's BS? Certain people can't talk about certain things. As a woman, it's no big deal for me to harshly criticize feminism, and I don't love that. I prefer an open market of ideas. Yeah, well.
I mean, I agree with you, MA, but unfortunately, when people that look like Jeremy are not allowed.
I can't have a public opinion on
You can't
many
have a public
things.
opinion about things, even though a lot of these things have to do with him or intertwine with him. But if you have a certain skin color and have certain body parts, you're not allowed to speak about them.
Unfortunately.
I
don't have as much free speech as everybody else.
Yeah, you don't have as much free speach as everybody else.
I'm probably in the lower end of the
But
totem
people like
pole.
me, I have as much free speech as I want, and I can criticize whoever the hell I want. But I've been called all kinds of stuff myself just for being critical of people, just in general. Doesn't matter what you look like. I'm just critical. Sorry, it's my job.
Were there any companies that maybe be left out on that first list that you didn't see?
Facebook? Was Facebook on there?
Facebook was not on there. This is actually an update from that first article. Not an update directly, but it's a more recent article. Because the viewers may have also been thinking, wait a second, I don't see any Facebook executives on Biden's list. You remember how we talked about Facebook being central authentication, probably one of the main the main tools that's going to be utilized.
I mean, everybody has a Facebook except for me and
credit
you.
System.
Except for me and you, we don't have Facebook.
We're the only two on the planet that don't have one.
Well, maybe nowadays. I thought about making one, but then I just no, I don't want to.
From Politico.com, former Facebook leaders are now transition insiders.
Oh, okay.
The president-elect has hired former Facebook executives, even though some in his camp consider the company enemy number one.
I swear, I have a feeling that on January 20th, when Trump gets inaugurated, the leftists are just going to straight up just crash the inauguration ceremony. They tried 4 years ago, but it didn't work. The police stopped them, but I think that they're going to get enough. They're going to get enough gall to actually crash it.
It's going to be bad if it happens. Yeah.
Oh my God, this is so bad. We should go to DC and see it, dude. See it in person. Maybe. I would love to go. I've never been to DC.
Some on the Biden campaign thought they had two opponents to beat. First Donald Trump and then Facebook.
Oh, yeah. Facebook's too big.
Why would they be fighting against Facebook? I don't understand.
I don't understand either.
They banned the groups tried to organize the Stop the Steal protests.
Yes, and they banned them.
The pro-Trump Stop the Steal protests. They completely nuked them out. I don't understand why leftists would be upset at Facebook, but maybe they're banning people that I'm not aware of. People close with close ties to Facebook and CEO Mark Zuckerberg have already become inside players in the Biden transition, suggesting that the president-elect is not slamming the door on the company. Former Facebook board member Jeff Zients is co-chairing Biden's transition team. Co-chairing his transition team.
Co-chairing.
Another former board member is an advisor. Two others, one who was a Facebook director and another who was a company lobbyist. You worked long enough as a lobbyist, you get a position as an advisor. Have taken leadership roles.
How it works?
And Biden himself has a friendly relationship with a top Facebook executive, former UK Deputy Prime Minister Nick Clegg.
Got the UK influence. Okay.
Not just one guy from Facebook. We're talking 6.
Yeah.
That setup is already creating an awkward contrast with the vocal Facebook haters in the party. DNC's chief mobilization officer, Patrick Stevenson, tweeted last week that the two biggest institutional threats to our democracy are the Republican Party and Facebook. Oh, it's now clicking. It's clicking for me.
Okay. Get
Facebook,
get the juices flowing.
Facebook, if you've ever seen, there's a Twitter account that posts like the top 10 most popular Facebook posts every once in a while. Just as kind of like a statistics thing.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what percentage of those top 10 are Republican?
They probably don't even make it.
No.
They make it to like what, 3?
More.
1? The first, like top 1? Like
all 10.
All 10 is Republican stuff?
Ben Shapiro, Dan Bongino,
Oh,
Ben
wow.
Shapiro, Ben Shapiro, Ben Shapiro.
I've never assumed that.
Facebook is getting taken over by Republican and conservative boomers. That's why.
Maybe
just remembered that.
Maybe we should get on Facebook.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of...
I need to get on Facebook maybe again.
I mean, if you want to hang out with Republican boomers who share memes that aren't really memes,
I
then
like
you can do
Republicans,
that.
okay?
But
They're my homies.
now I'm understanding why they're targeting Facebook, because Facebook actually is becoming an effective tool for Republicans and conservatives.
Steve says Facebook sucks, going back to MySpace. Oh my God. I can't even log into my MySpace because I made it when I was so young. I didn't even have an email address. So I made up an email address and they let me make my MySpace with a fake email. Yeah.
Never had one. I knew as soon as MySpace came out that everyone was going to be hypnotizing themselves with social attention.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's why I never made any. Well, I have Facebook, but I deleted it pretty quickly.
Yeah. I had mine for quite a while, but
That's why they're specifically saying Facebook is bad.
Yeah, Facebook is pretty wicked, not gonna lie.
The only tool that's actually being leveraged effectively by conservatives is the one that they don't like. What a coincidence.
Right?
Because conservatives don't have a foothold like that on Twitter.
Yeah.
They don't have a foothold like that on Instagram.
It's true.
Or, any of these other sites.
I mean, I follow mostly conservatives on Instagram, not gonna lie. But that's just because...
Nobody cares about your anecdotes.
I know, that's true. Nobody cares about my anecdotes. You're right, Jeremy. Sorry.
I had to slam a reality check on you.
Just Bobby Brown me. It's good.
Yeah.
I had to explain what a Bobby Brown was to him. Or did you know what a Bobby Brown was?
Well, I mean, I could deduce what it meant once I remembered who Bobby Brown was. That's all.
Yeah, that was fun. Oh, maybe it was somebody else that I had to explain what that was. And they were like, oh, that's kind of bad. I was like, well, yeah, but that's why I say, like, instead of backhand, I just say,
So you remember how we talk about the left, they argue everything on morality, basis of morality?
Oh, yeah, they think that they're so moral.
Continuing on from Politico, one senior Democratic strategist close to the campaign put it more plainly. Quote, "We basically think they're an immoral company," said the strategist, speaking anonymously to discuss the thinking inside the party. Quote, "There are thousands and thousands of people in their 20s and 30s and 40s who will be incensed to find themselves working for Secretary of Commerce Sheryl Sandberg or taking a soft touch to Facebook because Nick Clegg and Joe Biden go way back."
Somebody said in the chat that Nick Clegg is a MI5 operative or something, which I don't doubt.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
It wouldn't surprise me.
But again, they're specifically targeting Facebook only here, and I think that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Because they don't tell you why Facebook is immoral.
Yeah, they just say it's immoral.
They just say it's immoral because they know that if they elaborated on that, you would understand that it's because Facebook is successfully being used by Republicans.
Yeah, it's immoral because the Republicans are on.
Oh, wait, here we go. Much of the anger comes from the rancor over the company's failure.
They use rancor.
Yeah, I know, that's a good word.
That's a good adjective.
Comes over the company's failure to prevent Russian misinformation campaigns in the 2016 election, and a feeling that Facebook didn't do enough to address the spread of false information or hate-filled posts in the 2020 race. All right, so I was wrong. They just admitted it right there.
Yeah, they just admit it.
They said that you wouldn't control your platform enough in our favor, so now we think you're immoral.
You let that stupid QAnon stuff run rampant on Facebook, and now we have all these brainwashed boomers thinking that there is a cult of baby blood drinking perverts that just do all kinds of terrible stuff. Even though it's actually happening. We know it's
That's
happening.
right, I forgot.
It's been happening since the dawn of time, but we don't want to talk about it.
That's where Q spreads all the stuff. Right?
Yes.
That's why.
They didn't act fast enough to like stop people spreading the information that we've known about for thousands of years. That has been talked about in the Bible.
That makes sense now. All the Q stuff spreads through Facebook. That's
the
why
Q stuff spread like wildfire in Facebook.
Yes.
My dad discovered QAnon on Facebook.
Of course. Like I said,
and then he like told me about a YouTube channel that he watched. And I watched it and I was like, Dad, I already knew about all this. So thank you for...
I'm telling you, it's getting taken over by boomers.
Yeah, but it is totally taken over by boomers. But it's so cute. Like, my dad always tells me about stuff that he sees on Facebook. And I'm just like, Dad, I'm not on Facebook. I don't see that. Like, but I'm glad that like
That's why I didn't make the connection either.
I'm glad that but if there's one thing I'm thankful for with Facebook is that it did get that message out. I'm not saying like the baby blood drinking and all that stuff. I'm pretty sure it's probably real because like this is stuff that the Bible has described for a lot of the time.
QAnon.
I know.
QAnon.
I know. I am totally like. I'm not like. I think there's just certain people that get so powerful and they get so much dirt on them that they're willing to do anything to keep the power and the prestige that they have, even just doing like some of the most unspeakable and unthinkable things that like nobody would ever think of, and they do it. It's quite sick. It's quite a sick phenomenon.
Unfortunately, I have to. If we were in the Demolition Man right now, I would have to print a ticket for you because you're talking about.
I'm talking about things that you shouldn't talk about.
Talking about material that could lead to hate speech.
Yeah.
And as to cap all this off for the new Biden team, if you guys haven't got a clear enough picture of how this is going to look with Facebook and Microsoft and Amazon and Google executives getting in there to lead the new administration, now we have this gem.
Joe Biden, transition official, wrote op-ed advocating free speech restrictions. Oh, lovely. So we really are gonna write tickets for each other.
No, yeah, it really is. It's from the New York Post, so this article itself would be a violation, probably, because this platform has been banned. This is Richard Stengel. Is that last name just about in itself? Is
just
like,
in and of itself, it just makes you just go, I don't know if I could trust this guy.
Stengel?
I
don't want any guy named Stengel in the government.
Yeah, I don't want anybody named Stengel running things. Like with a last name like that, you're up to something.
No, well, if you say it properly, it's Stengel.
Stengel?
Stengel.
You're gonna put a German accent on it?
Stengel. So
maybe we shouldn't trust anybody with a German last name.
Mr. Stengel. Let's hear about Mr. Stengel from the New York Post. President-elect Joe Biden's transition team leader for U.S.-owned media outlets wants to redefine freedom of speech and make hate speech a crime. Richard Stengel.
So what is hate speech?
Is the Biden transition...
Am I going to get locked up for making fun of this guy's last name?
Maybe they'll tell us.
Yeah.
Richard Stengel is the Biden transition, quote, team lead for the U.S. Agency for Global Media, which I didn't even know existed.
Is there really a global media?
The U.S. Agency for Global Media.
Wow.
It says right there. The U.S. government media empire that includes Voice of America, the Middle East Broadcasting Networks, and Radio Free Europe / Radio Liberty. Stengel, an Obama administration alumnus, so bring
in more Obama.
The underlying theme between all this, with all this, is they're bringing a lot of Obama people back.
Of course they are, because Obama.
Of course, because
Obama was one of the biggest perpetrators of just what's it called? He would just spying on people heavily and just implement
He loves spying.
He's always spying.
Stengel wrote last year in a Washington Post op-ed that U.S. freedom of speech was too unfettered and that changes must be considered.
Yeah, we need to implement censorship, self-censorship, because we don't want people using mean words and saying things that would offend people.
This is what he wrote. He said, quote, all speech is not equal.
Oh, okay.
And where truth cannot drive out lies, we must add new guardrails.
Bumpers, huh?
I'm all for protecting thought that we hate, but not speech that incites hate.
Sorry, bitch.
Wow.
I don't need bumpers when I bowl. Like,
wow.
Right?
And I see Steve in chat. He says it won't matter. Biden ain't getting in there. But you may be right on that.
You might be right on
that.
that.
But if a Democrat wins in 4 years, or 8 years, or 12 years, guess who's getting in?
Stengel's gonna get in there. Stengel. Yeah.
Stengel offered 2 examples of speech that he has an issue with: Koran burning and circulation of, quote, false narratives by Russia during the 2016 election.
That's a lie. The
Wow.
Russian 2016 election thing is a total lie, and it's been disproven so many times.
Another reference to the 2016 Russia narratives.
That Russia narrative is not working, folks. Like, we know it was a lie. If anything, the Russians helped Hillary, and they still lost, and they're just mad about it. They are mad. They are mad that they lost because they cheated to win, and they still lost.
Stengel wrote that our foremost liberty also protects any bad actors who hide behind it to weaken our society, adding, the Russian agents assumed fake identities, promulgated false narratives, and spread lies on Twitter and Facebook.
Okay.
All protected by the First Amendment.
Yeah. And it's up to you to, like, look at that speech and decide for yourself, like, if, like, you want to believe it or not.
Good point.
I mean, that's
what it should be.
That's what it should be.
But
No. Everything that anybody is supposed to say is supposed to be true.
We have to make sure that you are consuming the right information.
Yeah. It's the truth.
You're not smart enough to know on your own.
Oh, okay.
We have to tell you what the proper information is.
Oh, thank you for helping me with my little tiny girl brain.
Yeah.
My little tiny girl brain just can't, like, differentiate what's the truth and what's...
You need all the help you can get.
I know I do. Thank you. And thank you so much, you masculine man, for just guiding me.
Stengel was going to set you straight.
Yeah, Stengel's going to let me know what's up.
Guess what? Guess where he used to work? Stengel, until recently, worked as a paid MSNBC contributor.
Oh, of course he did.
He led the National Constitution Center from 2004 to 2006, where he burned constitutions all day. No, that's not in the article. I just added that. And was Under Secretary of State for Public Diplomacy and Public Affairs from 2014 to 2016 during the final years of the Obama administration.
Joe Biden just wants to bring on all of Obama's just idiots that Trump fired, essentially.
Bring them back.
He wants to bring them back so that way he can spy on Americans more and steal more of our freedoms. Suck the life out of all of us. Suck the freedom and the prosperity out of all of us.
Let's take another step into Stengel's mind here.
Just Stengel.
This is what he says. Since World War II, many nations have passed laws to curb the incitement of racial and religious hatred. These laws started out as protections against the kinds of anti-Semitic bigotry that gave rise to the Holocaust. We call them hate speech laws, but there's no agreed upon definition of what hate speech actually is. In general, hate speech is speech that attacks and insults people on the basis of race, religion, ethnic origin, and sexual orientation.
Totally.
Stengel wrote,
Stengel.
I think it's time to consider these statutes. The modern standard of dangerous speech comes from Brandenburg versus Ohio, 1969, and holds that speech that directly incites imminent lawless action or is likely to do so can be restricted. Domestic terrorists such as Dylan Roof and Omar Mateen and the El Paso shooter were consumers of hate speech.
Oh, well, I'm glad that they didn't just lead with just all white people and all the white mass shooters. They also included other ethnic people.
Threw in some guy named Omar.
And then they didn't even list the El Paso shooter's name. They just called him the El Paso shooter.
Don't want to make it too obvious.
Don't want to make it too obvious what they're trying to do. But I'm sure if they could list all the white people that did mass shootings, they would have.
Listen to this. This is great. Quote, speech doesn't pull the trigger. But does anyone seriously doubt that such hateful speech creates a climate where such acts are more likely? So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, your potential new future team lead for the U.S. Agency for Global Media.
Yeah, this guy sounds great. This guy sounds so qualified.
This is the guy who's going to lead all the social media monitoring that's going to factor into your social credit score.
He thinks that hate speech exists and that's probably what he's going to implement is hate speech laws. Or try to get people to tattle on people who are saying too much.
If you were one of the 13 people that shared one of those Russian Facebook posts from 2016 about the misinformation campaigns.
13?
Maybe 15.
Maybe 15.
Somewhere between 13 and 15 people viewed those.
Yeah.
If you were one of those, guess what? You get dinged.
You get dinged for hate speech, and your social credit goes down.
You get dinged, yeah.
Or you're not allowed to travel. You're not allowed to buy groceries.
You're not gonna be allowed to cross state lines.
You're not allowed to like leave your house.
Can't go to Ticketmaster events.
You're not allowed to go to concerts. You're not allowed to leave your house because you don't have your multi-pass.
Yep. Your multi-pass gets revoked.
Your multi-pass gets revoked, folks.
You shared the Facebook fake news.
Yeah,
your
you shared
multi-pass gets revoked.
You shared that QAnon post about the baby blood drinking and the.
Are you in a Facebook group that shares that content?
Your multi-pass revoked, or your multi-pass is just like restricted. You get it's like when you get a DUI and you're on like restriction with your license. They're gonna do the same thing. So they're gonna like put a hold on your license, so you're not allowed to drive for certain things. You're not allowed to go to protests. Like QAnon people are not allowed to go to protests. They're not allowed to go to Save the Children and talk about ending human trafficking and all that stuff. Even though
not allowed to talk about any unapproved topics.
No, you are only allowed to talk about the approved list of things, and if you veer off of that, then bye-bye, banned.
Josiah says that's why the U.S. should never have hate speech laws.
I 100% agree with you, Josiah. I think that the idiots that are spewing hate and nonsense, the white supremacists that do all that garbage and make us all look bad, I support their right to say what they're saying just as much as the idiot leftist that is saying the same garbage, just like reversed. So.
Yeah, I think, I think everyone would know my stance, and that's that everyone should be able to say everything all the time.
Yeah.
Unless you break some kind of law.
Yeah. If you're like in a crowded movie theater and you're just playing a joke and you want to yell fire or like, say that there's somebody with a gun, then yeah, of course, like you, the idiot that decided to do that is should be in trouble. But when they try to shut, like, for example, like we talked about earlier in the stream, the straight pride parade, how there were more people there to like troll on the straight pride parade than to actually like support it. And they did that for a reason, to prove a point, to be like, look at you idiots out here. Even though you're here to protest, you're still attending and you're still a part of it. So why not just like be happy and be thankful that we're here? We're not here to bash gays. The MC of the straight pride parade in Boston was Milo Yiannopoulos. Like, he's a gay dude, like MCing the damn straight pride parade. And people were like, they didn't care. They didn't care.
Steve says we have a right to be an a-hole if we want.
Exactly. If you want to be an a-hole, go for it. So being a like gay person in this world, like, let me just say, people will come, like bars randomly will come up with me and they'll start conversations. They're like, I normally don't like talking to gay people just because they're so thin-skinned and they just get so offended by every little thing, but I like talking to you because you're like normal. You get it, that I'm not being like super serious.
Yeah, it's
and we need to have that again.
It supersedes any kind of identity politics.
It's like, even if you disagree with my lifestyle and don't get it, that's fine, but like, I'm not gonna think you're an a-hole for just disagreeing with me. Like, I disagree with your lifestyle. You disagree with me because I like women, but I disagree with you because you go to the bar every night, get trashed, and do lines of coke in the bathroom and think that you're morally superior to me. Like,
Grimm says the Scottish hate speech bill will outlaw hate speech spoken in your own home, even if it wasn't intended to be hateful. And this is a good point, because when I was reading this article,
oh hell no,
I had these images.
Don't come after the Scots.
Well, who's the guy that got arrested for the Nazi joke? Count Dankula.
Count Dankula, yeah, that guy.
He got arrested and cited for a Nazi joke. There's already crews of police in the UK who are monitoring social media for bad things that you say.
Yeah.
So if somebody were to try and say that this is far-fetched, all you have to do is point to the UK and say, hey, look, they're already arresting people for saying mean things on the internet right over there. I could probably pull up 20 examples right now on the internet.
In our Google Doc that I have, I put in the Google Doc, a dude drove his car into the police station because the police were finding him $13,000 for saying stuff online about the lockdowns and about
Really?
Yes, I think I have it in the Google Doc.
Oh, I gotta pull that up.
Yes, they fined him like $13,000. So he drove his car into the police station in one of the areas because they were fining him $13,000. Yes, this guy, London
Here we
dude.
go.
It says London. We have it up on the screen.
Yep.
Okay, it's Fox News.
Okay. Too many buttons.
Too many buttons. Let me get you guys. This is
Oh
Fox
no,
News.
autoplay. Fox, no. Why?
Oh no. Sorry,
guys.
folks.
Yeah.
It says London man rams car into police station over $13,000 COVID fine. And
The subtext is, it was not clear which rules were allegedly violated.
yeah, and he still got fined $13,000.
All right, here, let's read this.
This was good.
A London motorist reportedly upset over being fined for breaking lockdown rules to stem the spread of coronavirus crashed his car into a police station and set it on fire on Wednesday.
Yeah, he not only crashed in, but he set it on fire.
The London Metropolitan Police Station in Edmonton was evacuated following the incident, which occurred just before 7 p.m. local time. A 45-year-old man was arrested on suspicion of arson and other offenses. The man reportedly ran the vehicle into the North London Police Station and doused it with a flammable liquid before setting it ablaze. The Sun reported he snapped after being fined up to $13,000 for flouting Britain's lockdown rules. Flouting, what is that?
Like, just talking crap,
Flouting.
I guess.
It was not clear which regulations were allegedly violated.
And he got fined $13,000. If I got fined $13,000, I would snap like this guy. Like, are you kidding
I
me?
want to know what he said.
I want to know what he said too, but
What is I don't know what flouted means. I'm not ashamed to admit that I don't know what that word
you
means.
don't know British lingo?
No,
I don't even know British lingo either. I think it probably just means like talking crap or just like,
probably.
bashing or like being critical.
Hold on,
I was gonna say let's dictionary.com this.
flouted on Google.
Flout.
Openly disregard
There you go. So he
or
was
to mock.
so he was probably on the internet mocking and like encouraging people to not wear masks, and they found out about it and fined him $13,000. So he decided to just ram his
Wow.
car into the police station.
Thank you, Iron Duke, for the definition.
Yeah. Thank you, Iron Duke, but we got Google. Google's our friend here too.
Flouting is English. You Americans do not know real English.
I'm sorry. Like
Sorry, man.
I assume
It's true.
I do watch like a lot of British TV shows, so I know some of their lingo, but there are some words that we just don't use here in the United States. Or if we do use it, we just use it in a different way.
So that's where it's headed.
Yeah.
They're already doing it over there. So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not a reach to say that it could happen here. And I'm actually interested to see what's going to happen with this California lockdown because
Right? How many-
some of the leaders in like Placer County, who went from orange to purple overnight because
Right.
Gavin snapped his
Yeah,
fingers.
Comrade Newsom snapped his fingers.
They literally said, I was watching an interview with some of them. They said that they told the businesses in Placer County, just do whatever it takes to stay alive. Mm-hmm. They're like, we don't care.
Yeah.
So they're pretty much refusing to enforce the Comrade Newsom's lockdowns.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to see if they're really going to start marching in, because what really needs to happen right now is we need to do the American thing and we need to protest. We need to stand up against it.
I'm pretty sure if the lockdowns do happen again in California, that we're going to see like more reopen California protests again.
There's already one scheduled for the 28th. I looked at the permits at the Capitol.
Okay.
There's one scheduled for 28th. There's
Maybe
a
we should
protest.
maybe we should go to
We
that.
probably will go to
I
it.
think we should.
We probably will go to
do
it.
some interviews with some Trumpers and see what they have to say.
It's just a save California restaurants. So
Okay.
it's apolitical.
It's supposed
It's
to
just
be.
business owners
Okay.
who are standing up and saying, dude, we're
I think that would be a fun one to do.
going to die if you don't
Yeah.
stop locking us down.
Stop
We
locking
can't
us down.
operate.
Right.
We're already seeing all these businesses die. How many more rounds of this can we go through?
Yeah, this is like our third round in California where we
People got to stand up.
shut down for months and then we open back up, see how we do, and then we shut down because we do terrible, and then we open back up. Like this is terrible. We can't keep doing this.
Yeah, at least we're not speaking German.
That's true. I don't speak German. Sorry. Like,
Stengel.
unlike Stengel
That's the
dude.
extent of my German.
Yeah, I don't know any German. I know how to say shut up in French.
MA says, in my red state, I voted without my mask at the election center. Only one not wearing a mask, but no dirty looks.
Love it. Good for you, MA.
Matt Stoicism, what's up, man? First time I've seen you in chat. Welcome.
Welcome, Matt.
Let's remember that my country came into being because men took up arms and put redcoats in the ground. Just saying. Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's time to do the American thing, stand up.
Right? Stand up.
So,
Let's
I'm
stand
tired.
up.
If I owned a business, I mean, man,
A publicly owned, like a public open for business.
like a
business.
restaurant,
Yeah.
you don't have a choice.
Yeah, you don't have a choice.
You don't have a choice. You
And
have
then
to.
if you are open and you say screw the lockdown, you'll have the state through the food, through the health inspectors come in and shut you down.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's screwed up about it. It's like if you don't shut down, we'll send the health inspectors to come in and shut you down.
Yeah, how ironic is that the people who have been crying against fascism for the last 4 years are now cheering that state employees are coming to private businesses and inspecting them to make sure they meet the requirements, and if they don't, they shut them down and fine them. They love that, but they hate fascism.
Yeah, they hate fascism.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they want to shut down businesses, but they hate fascism. They want to shut down everything that they love. Like and then they just have the nerve to complain that like they can't do anything because everything's shut down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, are you?
Oh yeah. No, they want everything shut down, and then they complain because everything's shut down.
Yeah, everything's shut down. I can't go to Macy's and get my makeup because it's shut down. Well, you wanted it that way.
Addicted says he's been cited twice.
You've been cited twice, you little rebel, you.
I've been yelled at a few times.
You've been yelled at for not wearing masks?
Not in California, actually. I got yelled at in Texas.
You did?
Yeah.
Wow.
Where's your mask?
Betas!
Oh, yeah.
Total betas. Now when I Uber and Lyft, I don't even wear a mask. I bring it with me just in case the driver's a total lefty, but when I get in, I don't even put it on anymore. I'm like, fuck you.
That's
I'm
my
like, fuck you
default.
guys.
Don't wear it until I get yelled at, and then I'll
Yeah,
wear
and
it
then
just so nobody cries.
Yeah, and then if it's really that big a deal, I'll wear it and just so that way I won't get like kicked out of wherever the hell or get denied service because I decide that I don't want to wear a piece of cloth or whatever this garbage is to like prevent other people from getting COVID, even though it doesn't help. It doesn't do anything.
Dari says, southern states have never fully shut down. Economy has been good.
Of course it has. Of course it has. People want to go to places that are open.
MA has a question. She says, anyone know why alt-centrism overlaps so much with the dissident right? I have one foot in each, and it seems like this channel has that bridge-building quality based on some of the comments.
A little bit, I think. You know,
I don't even know what alt-centrism is. It sounds cool.
I mean, it's kind of what I am a little bit. Like I consider myself like center right, like only center because I feel I'm not I'm not extreme enough to be on either side of the side. I'm not like alt right. I'm not alt left. Like I don't want to be on either side, but I do have more right leaning values. Like I definitely lean more like pro America, pro God, pro life, just pro family, all that stuff. And that apparently is like right, alt right. But I'm
that's all right.
But I'm super gay, and I believe that,
it's not enough.
It's not enough, yeah.
Gayness is not enough to pull the lever back over into that.
But that's why I consider myself more like center right. And there is like this huge bridge between the centrists and the center right to the Trumpers on the right, but there are a lot of people on the Trump side that are like super hardcore righties that are like don't want gays, don't want trans, don't want none of this stuff, and it's like, hey, okay, you guys' support is really limited already, so you might as well embrace like the few gays and the few trannies and the few like darker skinned people that you get instead of like shoving us aside because we don't fit the mold that you guys want us to fit. Like we're here, we're queer, get used to it, and we love America and we love family values.
I'm willing to adopt the alt-centrist title. I like that.
I like it. I when people ask me where do I lean politically, I tell them like I
wouldn't do it if it was just
right.
centrist. Centrist is boring.
Centrist is super boring.
I like it because it has alt on there. It makes it a little edgy.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this guy like a Nazi centrist.
Is he like a Nazi centrist? Like,
yep, total Nazi.
Total Nazi.
Super white supremacist.
Total white supremacist, but I'm brown and I'm a lesbian, so how can I be any of that? Because if I was in Nazi Germany in the 1940s, I would have been the first one to get gassed. But they would like lead me, they would shove me in there and be like, get in there, you filthy degenerate, having sexual relations with women and thinking that you can spread your dirty ideology to the world. How dare you?
Anything to the right of kale salad is literally Hitler. Yep, good comment. Good comment.
The right of kale salad. Because kale salad is a political ideology. Oh, Of course, MA. MA says, thanks for considering my question, you guys. That's of course, MA. You always bring thought-provoking questions to the chat. That's why we appreciate you. I'm glad that you joined the chat, MA, because Lord knows I need my girl power up in here to like help me out with this one.
We have plenty of female viewers.
I know. The girls love me. Some of the men too. Some of them, not all. Not all. But some.
Well, the fact of the matter is that everyone here in this chat, including me and you, we would all get cited under the new.
We would because
the new coming.
Because we are people that have good senses of humor, good heads on our shoulders, and we're nice to look at too. So that's always a bonus.
How do we stop it from happening? What's your plan?
Stop like censorship.
You said you're gonna go down with a ship in California.
I mean, I'll get guns and like defend myself as much as I can. If California, so this is like my worst case scenario with California right now. If California falls to the anarchists and it goes like Mad Max or, just everybody against everybody, I'm confident that I will be one of the few survivors because not only do my family have lots of guns, but a lot of the people that I've been interacting with lately are some of like the softest, most fragile little things ever. They would be the ones to take like the cyanide pill or to like self-suicide themselves just because they wouldn't want to live in the society that we're headed for. Whereas me, I'm like, no, I'm not going to do any of that. I'll fight to my last dying breath. So I'll go down with the ship.
There's Doug. He says, give me lockdowns or give me death.
I don't want lockdowns.
No turkey for you grandma killers.
That's why I'm going to go to the reopen or the Save California protest and talk to people because I love talking about this stuff. That's how me and him met. We went to I went to Reopen California in my tie-dye shirt in a sea of like Trump red flags. I was in a tie-dye shirt.
Well, if I have to rate your strategy,
I know it's a terrible strat.
I would say it's a failure.
It's a terrible strat, Jeremy. I know you're just always so critical of me, and that's why I love you.
I want to give you a strategy that's gonna work.
Yeah. Well, what's your strat?
Flee.
You're gonna leave? You're gonna leave me?
I'm gonna.
Whatever, Jeremy.
If you're a gorilla living in a patch of the desert, sorry guys, I'm just trying to get this.
Trying to get the next.
There we go.
There we go.
Trying to get the camera fixed here. If you're a gorilla living in a patch of jungle that you've claimed and you've had for a long time, and then all of a sudden
people try to invade it.
Yes, company starts coming in.
I get that like mammal instinct of fight or flight, and you just flight. That's fine. Because you don't have any loyalty to California.
No, I don't have zero loyalty.
Yeah, you have zero loyalty to California. See, that's the difference between me and you. This is my state. I was born and raised right here.
That's what I'm saying. Your loyalty is misplaced.
I know. I'm gonna die fighting. Sorry.
Chad agrees with me. See, Arian says take Delaney with you.
Right? If
Escape from California.
I'll just get my family. We'll all leave with Jeremy. How about that?
Stalking Horse says, you going to move to Idaho? It's an option.
It's an option. Maybe.
Idaho's looking good.
I would like Idaho.
Texas.
Idaho. I love Idaho.
Alaska.
Oh.
Antarctica.
Oh.
I've been looking at jobs in Antarctica.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Think about buying your own island in Antarctica?
Well, no, but going down there, working there, checking it out.
My roommate told me that you can buy islands. He looked at a website where you can buy islands, and he's like, that they sell like islands in Alaska for like you could buy like a little tiny island for like $50,000 in Alaska.
Oh,
and I was like, that's a good idea, but how would you get to this island?
Guys, let's start a Patreon and save up for an island.
Save up for an island in Alaska.
We can all start a village there.
Yeah.
Who's in for that? Put your hands up. Starting a village.
Alaska village.
Village.
Let's do it. Buy a freaking like just a tiny little island in Alaska.
Well,
we'll all fly in and fly out. We boat in and boat out.
When I say flee, I mean kind of like restart.
Yeah.
Go back to the basics. Get out of modern society. Mm-hmm. Start civilization over with like a small village or something like that. With families who are forming an actual community because there's no communities anymore. There's no intergenerational families.
Yeah.
There's no sense of community at all, really. We're all isolated individuals. And start over from scratch.
Yeah.
Because you got to get the You got to get the kids away from the social media and
It's
the
true.
public school.
Got to get them away from all these influences and all these things that'll taint them.
Yeah, because if we were to have kids and we sent them through the system right now,
Oh, they would come out total idiots.
they would get ground up like sausage and
Even
then
though
come out
me and
like
you
retards.
are both like fairly intelligent people, and our children should be fairly intelligent just based off of their genetics, but because of the systems that we have in place, they would come out
nurture would
they would come out
definitely-
total retards if we just like let them go through the public system without our guidance.
Nurture would dominate that situation.
Oh, yeah.
Even if you have great, great starting points.
Yeah, well,
We got a lot of hands up in chat. For
yeah,
the,
hands up for Alaska. Stalking horse
farming. Yes, farming too.
Stalking horse says Alaska's expensive. True, but if we find ourselves a nice little oil spot, we can just sell that shit.
Somewhere in the middle of the Yukon.
Yeah.
Like up in the middle of nowhere in Canada. A lot of land up there. No one's gonna mess with you.
Yeah, no one's gonna mess with you. You just have to like take a plane into where you need to go.
And Elon Musk is gonna have global internet up soon. So
That's true.
And actually, that latitude up in Canada is like has the best coverage because that's where the satellites.
That's where they circle right
yeah,
there and
yeah.
like just transmit straight down.
So guys,
you get those first waves
we
of
could
transmission.
still have YouTube streams. We could still have all the internet up there in the middle of nowhere in log cabins in Canada and Alaska.
And May says, "Hands up! Let's make Alaska the free thinker refuge." Hands up! Hands up!
Retreat to Alaska.
Alaska!
Retreats are strategic, okay? And when I say flee, that's what I mean. It's
Yeah,
a retreat in the fight.
Yeah. It's a strategy.
Get out of the societies and regroup. That's all
All
I'm
right,
saying.
Jeremy, you're convincing me to
That's all I'm
flee.
saying.
You're convincing me to flee my home state and not fight the globalists.
Fight the globalists.
Don't fight the globalists like Alex Jones wants us to.
All right, guys. We'll start a Patreon and we'll all move to
We'll
Alaska.
all move to Alaska, not Canada, Alaska, because we don't want to deal with Canada. We want to
They won't even know we're there.
Yeah, they won't even know we're there.
Well, I hope the picture we painted for you guys was doom and gloom enough for you to at least think about what you're going to be doing because
Right.
this system is coming.
Yeah.
The
end is nigh.
The social credit is coming. Social credit system is coming. It's just a matter of what is the impetus and how they can implement it. The COVID restriction lockdowns are going to last forever, just like the security measures that came from 9/11.
Yep.
That's the moral of the story that we want to
Thanks, George Bush.
make sure that you guys are aware of. And whether Trump lasts another 4 years or 8 years or 12 years or 4 more
He's
terms.
just gonna be a dictator forever.
Even if he gets 4 more terms after he dies, someone's going to come in that's going to implement all this stuff.
We're just gonna someone's gonna assassinate him, or he's just gonna die, and they're gonna
just
pick
keep
somebody
that in
else.
mind. He's not going to save the world.
Arian says, Delaney, the winters will be tough for us brown people with no vitamin D because no sunlight. It will be
You
tough.
will adapt.
I will adapt.
And you'll overcome.
I do have mostly European ancestry in me. So even though I do have a little bit of brown, that European ancestry will come into play for me.
Yes,
Ha-ha.
Anthony nailed it. I think this is a good note to end on. They call it the Great Reset. We can call it the Great Awakening.
I know plenty of people that call it the Great Awakening. But I think we should like trademark it.
Great Awakening TM.
TM.
All
All
right,
rights
guys.
reserved. The little R with a circle on it.
I think that's it for us for tonight.
Appreciate y'all for stopping by and chatting with us. Oh, Steve with a super chat.
Steve drops a $5 super chat at the
$5
last
super
minute.
chat. Want nukes? Not really, but how cool would that be? Ultimate 2A move. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
We can be that little sleeper civilization when you're playing like Civilization 6. They just go off into the island. They're isolated and they rush tech and they get the nuke before everybody else. And they're like, hey, give me your resources or you get the nuke.
But
I
if
like
they
it.
nuke them, the bad strat with that is if you nuke them, then you nuke the resources. So then the
what's
resources
up,
get
Corey?
lost anyways.
Yeah, I know. We'll revise the strategy.
I was gonna say
We'll get it down for you
Civilization's a
guys.
good way to like play those things out, though.
Yep.
That's what I appreciate about
No,
Civilization.
it's true. Anyway, that's it for us, guys.
Thank you guys for stopping by at Weekly Narrative.
Glad you stopped by. I hope you enjoyed the stream.
Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell, because how else are you supposed to know when we're live and when we're here? If you
press
don't hit it,
All the buttons down
hit
here.
the little button, all of them. Not the dislike. Make sure you don't hit the dislike. You have to hit the like. The likes
Dislikes help too.
Dislikes do help.
Interaction.
They help too. change it up a little bit. If we do terrible, please dislike it and just let us know.
The locals.com account is coming, still in process, but that's where we're going to talk about the strategy for buying islands and stuff. If you guys want to get in on that in the future.
If you want to get in on
so
buying an island with us.
Keep that in mind, yeah. If you want to get in on the Great Awakening, we'll be arranging that
Or
on the locals.com.
Even better, if we can't buy an island, we can make our own island.
There you go.
There we go. Let's do it, you guys.
China does it.
China does it. Saudi Arabia does it. Why can't we?
We'll be back probably Friday or Saturday.
Saturday.
Follow the Parler account in the description for the notifications of when we're going to go live.
We'll let you guys know for sure.
Yep. So I see some questions in chat when we're going to go next live. Probably Friday or Saturday. Follow the Parler account for notifications.
And then if you hit the notification bell on YouTube, it'll let you guys know when we're going live, so you can join the chat. We usually go live right around like 7:15. That's usually our start times. Yep. So Friday, Saturday, those are going to be probably the 2 days that most optimal for us to be for you guys.
Nice. Thanks, Corey. I like that. I see that. You just joined Parler. All right, guys. That was the longest outro ever. We'll see you next time.
Yeah. See you next time on Week